Have you heard about minimalist living, but aren't sure what it means and what benefit it could offer you? You aren't alone. The concept of minimalist living isn't a new one, but it's an idea that has recently gained more momentum as increasing numbers of people recognize how much better their lives can be when they switch to a minimalist lifestyle. The modern world is a frantic and hectic place. The pace of life these days never seems to slow down. Many of us feel as if we are bombarded on all sides with urgent demands and pressures that are hard to resist. More is the buzzword of the moment. The more we have of everything, the more satisfied we're supposed to be. More possessions should equate to more happiness. At least that's what we're conditioned to believe. But is it true? Those who have adopted the minimalist lifestyle would disagree with the above opinion. They say that by adopting a simpler approach to every aspect of life, from relationships to the workplace, it becomes possible to narrow down your focus and to concentrate on what really matters. As a result, you can enjoy more happiness, more satisfaction, and even more success in all areas without all the physical, mental, and emotional clutter that seems to build up over time. Here, we take a closer look at what changing to a minimalist way of living could mean to you and how it could help you to enjoy greater peace of mind. With this how-to guide to switching to a minimalist lifestyle, you have all the tools you need at your disposal to make an informed decision about whether you could benefit from making the change. Learn all you need to know about what a modern minimalistic lifestyle looks like, and find out more about how you can adopt the principles of this exciting and revolutionary lifestyle concept into your everyday life. You're sure to be impressed by the many benefits that you can derive when you make just a few simple changes. In this video, we'll discuss about what is minimalist living. The first question that you need to be answered if you're considering making the change to a minimalist lifestyle is what exactly one is. So, what is minimalism and how does it look in practice? What does minimalist living look like? Before we answer this question, let's just reiterate the fact that minimalist living is nothing new. It's something that has been around for a very long time. Monks and nuns from centuries ago chose to live with only the absolute essentials in their lives, so that they could focus on their faith and become closer to a supreme power. They found that by eschewing everyday luxuries, they could develop a greater understanding of themselves and their beliefs. Yet these days, things are very different. Very few people are living this kind of basic and simple lifestyle. Most of us have fallen into a trap of wanting more than just the basics. We have fallen prey to the media and marketeers' message that the secret to a happy life is to own more by having more of everything. More money, more success, more possessions, and more technology. Yet, those of us who seek to accrue an endless stream of possessions usually come to learn over time that the promise of happiness that advertisers dangle in front of us couldn't be more false. The real secret to finding happiness and peace is to think in terms of subtraction rather than addition. Less is more when it comes to finding satisfaction in life and peace of mind. Essentially, at its core, minimalism is all about living with less. While that can be taken literally as having fewer possessions, it has more far-reaching implications for the way that you live your life. The concept behind minimalist living is learning to identify the things which are important, and then focusing down on those things while eradicating everything else which is deemed to be unimportant from your life. The misunderstandings about minimalist living. As you might imagine, there is a lot of misunderstandings about what minimalist living really means. Many people think that it means you can't own a home or have a car. Others think that you're restricted to only having as many possessions as you can fit into a small backpack or bag. None of this is true. In fact, minimalist could be best described as intentionally promoting anything that you most value while removing anything which brings no value into your life. It is a concept that resonates differently with every individual. While for some, that may mean a great degree of elimination. For others, it may be much less extreme, but no less beneficial. The principle of minimalist living is to remove anything which can be considered as clutter from your everyday existence. This clutter may be physical, in the form of possessions that you simply don't require, or it may be emotional or mental, for example, in the form of toxic relationships that are causing you unhappiness or stressful situations in which you find yourself. It means that you adjust your mindset and, in doing so, learn how you can live your life not only with greater purpose, but also with greater peace. What is a life of intentionality? When you opt for a minimalist lifestyle, you're opting for a life of intentionality. What does this mean? It means that you're intentionally making time, space, and room for all the things which you love and value, while simultaneously eliminating all that could distract you from really enjoying and appreciating those things to the max. You're opting for a lifestyle in which you intentionally choose which possessions you should own and what you're going to do with them for yourself without relying on convention or pressure from external forces. You're also choosing how that will impact on your way of thinking and living, and how it will change your perspective on your own life. It may seem like an unusual concept. After all, we're more used to following the herd and accepting what everyone else does as the norm. However, if you take this way of living on board, you'll be surprised at the benefits you can reap. Minimalism brings with it a host of benefits which are well known to those who practice this way of living. Those who extol its virtues say that minimalist living is an effective tool to help you to find freedom from worry, fear, guilt, and depression. With around a quarter of us suffering from mental health issues at any one time, it's no wonder that so many people are now questioning whether minimalist living could be the right way to go. So, could you benefit from making these changes in your life? Here, you can learn more about how switching to a more minimalistic approach to everyday life can help you to enjoy greater freedom, to improve your relationships, to become more successful in your professional life, and, most importantly, to experience greater satisfaction and happiness across all areas of your life daily. In this video, we'll discuss about what kind of freedom can minimalist living bring. When you adopt a minimalist lifestyle, one of the greatest benefits that you will experience is a strong sense of freedom. While this freedom stems from losing the drive to possess more things, it has significantly far-reaching implications that spread through all aspects of your everyday life. This freedom comes in many forms, some of which will be quite unexpected, but no less welcomed. Fewer possessions. Firstly, minimalism means that you'll own fewer possessions. This, in turn, frees you from the drive to accrue more of them over time. When you live intentionally with just the things you most need, by getting rid of the distractions that excess possessions can bring, you can put more of your focus onto the things in your life that matter most. Once you're free from the passion to own more, you'll be surprised by the pleasure that this can bring you. You'll be stepping off the consumerism treadmill and looking for the source of your happiness elsewhere. Where will you find that happiness? The answer will vary depending on your own life and circumstances. However, you'll almost certainly find the joy that you're seeking in your relationships, your experiences, and your self-care. When you learn to value what you've already got, you'll also be reminded to be more grateful for the things you have. And in that gratitude, you'll find that your life is infinitely more abundant than it was, even when you could have a house full of possessions. Freedom from frantic modern life. Another freedom that minimalism brings you is a release from the mania of modern living. The world today is running at a breakneck pace. We're all rushed, stressed, and hurried. We feel obliged to work long hours so we can pay our bills, and we fall into debt as we try to keep up with the neighbors. We also find that we're endlessly rushing between activities, multitasking instead of appreciating the experiences we're living through, while still struggling to accomplish anything worthwhile. Although we've all got cell phones which keep us permanently connected to those at home, at work, and elsewhere, We often still struggle to maintain positive and meaningful relationships in real life. When we embrace minimalist living, life can finally slow down. You can finally free yourself from the frenetic pace of modern life. You can disengage from all the pressures that we face today in the 21st century. It's only then that you can come to realize just how stressed you've been and how strained your relationships have become. With the new freedom that you've found, you can rectify that and start to rebuild a more positive living environment. Freedom from duplicity. Embracing the minimalist way of life means you no longer must live the duplicitous life. Whether or not you realize it, you're almost certainly portraying yourself in a different way to different people in your life. The way you act in front of your family is sure to be completely different from the way you behave at work or while you're around your neighbors. Yet, having to play up to an expected image can be hard work, and over time, the strain builds up. When you're living a minimalist life, everything becomes simpler. You can be more unified in your approach to those around you. With consistency, reliability, and dependability as part of your life each day, you'll have more transparency and honesty than you ever thought possible. No longer will you be tricked into chasing glamour, fame, and success. You'll learn to chase things that are much more meaningful, such as a strong relationship, peace, and positivity. When you adopt minimalist living, you'll find that you consume less and slow down, yet you'll enjoy your life much more.
Are you interested in personal development? Subscribe now to this channel. The team here brings you new videos on issues such as online marketing, Microsoft Office, Adobe, internet security, design, photography, and web development. All videos are made by Internet Marketing Europe. Subscribing is free. You can subscribe by pressing the button below.